Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins All World, where we dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. If you think the US 1-cent coin, better known as the penny, is just a small, insignificant coin, think again. Today, we're exploring the incredible value of the 1972 US 1-cent coin, a penny that could be worth far more than just 1 cent. You may have some old pennies lying around in your collection or even tucked away in a jar somewhere. What if I told you that some of those seemingly ordinary pennies could actually make you a small fortune? That's right. The 1972 penny is one such coin, and in today's video, we're going to show you exactly why this coin is so special, how to identify its rare varieties, and reveal just how much it could be worth today. So, stay tuned until the end to discover how much this little 1972 penny could potentially fetch. Trust me, the number might just blow your mind. Let's start with some historical context. The 1972 US 1-cent coin was minted during a time of significant change for the United States. The country was navigating through the tail end of the Vietnam War and the shifting tides of the early 1970s. The US economy was transitioning, and at the same time, the United States Mint was busy producing billions of coins for daily circulation. The penny, or 1-cent coin, was no exception, and in 1972, millions were struck for use in everyday transactions. The design on the 1972 penny is the same as it had been for decades. On the obverse side, we have the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln's face has adorned the penny since 1909, making him one of the most iconic figures in American coinage. The inscription around his portrait reads, "In God We Trust," along with the year of minting, which in this case is 1972. On the reverse side, the design features the Lincoln Memorial, a national symbol of the country's resilience and unity. The reverse design has been part of the penny since 1959 and remains one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world. So, while the design itself hasn't changed much, the real magic of the 1972 penny lies in its rarity, the minting errors that occurred, and the condition of the coin. Over the years, the 1972 penny has gained significant attention from collectors due to some unique and rare features that can make certain versions of the coin worth far more than face value. Let's talk about the rarity aspect first. While millions of 1972 pennies were minted, there are a few reasons why certain pennies from this year stand out. First, it's important to remember that coins aren't just valuable because of their age, they also become valuable because of their condition and any errors they might have. A well-preserved 1972 penny in mint condition is already more valuable than a coin that has been heavily circulated, and coins with certain minting errors are even more sought after by collectors. One of the most important things to look for in a 1972 penny is the doubling effect, also known as the double die variety. This error occurs when the coin is struck more than once during the minting process, causing certain parts of the coin's design, such as the date, lettering, or even the portrait of Lincoln, to appear doubled. This kind of error is rare, and when it happens on a 1972 penny, it makes that coin a must-have for serious collectors. The 1972 double die penny is among the most famous varieties in modern US coin collecting. If you've got one of these error coins, you could be sitting on a significant find. But how do you identify a double die penny? It's all about the details. Look closely at the date and the lettering. If you notice that the numbers in the year 1972 seem to be doubled, or if the letters of Liberty or In God We Trust appear to have extra lines or shadows, you might have a double die error penny in your hands. In addition to the double die error, another important thing to check is the mint mark. The 1972 penny was minted in Philadelphia, so many of these coins don't have any mint mark at all. However, some pennies from this year were minted in Denver and have the D mint mark on them. While the Denver minted 1972 pennies are more common, any special features, like a double die error, can make a Denver penny just as valuable, if not more so. One thing that coin collectors love is condition, and this is where the real value comes into play. Coins that are in mint condition, meaning they have hardly been circulated or show no signs of wear, are always worth more. If you find a 1972 penny that has been well preserved and still has sharp details, it could increase the value considerably, especially if it has the double die error or any other rare characteristics. Now, let's move to the big question: how much is this 1972 penny actually worth? The answer might surprise you. A standard 1972 penny in average circulated condition is worth just a few cents, nothing extraordinary. However, a 1972 double die penny in mint condition could fetch you a significant amount of money. Coins with this error have been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction, depending on their condition, but here's the big reveal. If you happen to have a highly sought-after 1972 double die penny, and it's in excellent condition, it could be worth as much as $55,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $55,000 for a single penny. Imagine stumbling across this little treasure in your collection or even finding it in your pocket change. It's amazing how a small minting error can turn an ordinary coin into something incredibly valuable. So, now that you know what to look for, it's time to check your collection, your change jar, or even the pennies you might have stashed away in a drawer. If you have a 1972 penny with a double die error, or if it's in mint condition, you could be holding a rare treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 1972 US 1-cent coin and how its rarity, minting errors, and condition can increase its value. Today, we have an exciting topic that could change the way you view the humble penny. We're diving deep into the world of the 1974 US 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny, but one with the potential to be worth far more than its face value. That's right, folks. What might look like just a simple penny could actually be hiding a fortune. The 1974 penny may seem like a common coin from the 1970s, but certain versions of this coin have become highly sought after by collectors due to unique features, minting errors, and its overall rarity. If you've ever wondered whether an old penny could hold value beyond its 1-cent denomination, then you're in for a treat. Stick with us as we explore the exciting possibilities and discover exactly how much a 1974 US 1-cent coin could be worth today. Let's take a step back and set the stage. The 1974 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which has been in circulation since 1959. This series features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the Lincoln Memorial gracing the reverse. These elements have become staples in American coinage, and millions of these pennies were minted each year. In 1974, the U.S. Mint produced a massive number of these coins, billions of pennies, as they were still widely used in daily transactions. Most of these pennies were made for regular use and circulated heavily, meaning they're not particularly rare at first glance. However, what makes the 1974 penny special is the potential for unique errors and varieties that can make certain coins stand out from the rest. The 1974 penny has caught the attention of collectors mainly because of minting errors, especially the double die error. If you're not familiar with this term, a double die occurs when a coin is struck multiple times during the minting process, causing certain parts of the design to appear doubled. This can happen to any part of the coin, including the date, the wording, or even parts of Lincoln's portrait. These errors are incredibly rare, and when they do happen, they create coins that are highly valuable. In the case of the 1974 double die penny, the most sought-after errors are typically found in the date or the letters around Lincoln's portrait, especially on words like liberty or in God we trust. When you inspect your 1974 penny closely, you might notice that parts of the text seem to be doubled or that there is a faint shadow or outline next to the regular strike. If you find this, you may have a coin that could be worth a considerable amount of money. Collectors and numismatists prize error coins like this, and they're always on the lookout for such rare specimens. But it's not just the double die error that makes the 1974 penny a gem. The overall condition of the coin also plays a crucial role in its value. If you find a 1974 penny in mint condition, meaning it has been well preserved, free from wear, scratches, or other signs of use, then its value goes up significantly. The condition of a coin is often one of the most important factors when determining how much it's worth, especially when it comes to rare coins. The 1974 penny also saw a lot of circulation, which means that most of the coins from this year have been heavily worn over time. So, if you come across a high-grade 1974 penny that looks nearly brand new, or if it's a double die error penny in mint condition, you could have something truly special in your hands. Now, you might be wondering, how much could my 1974 penny actually be worth? Well, it depends on several factors, but let's get into some specifics. If your 1974 penny has a double die error and is in excellent condition, the price can soar. The 1974 double die penny has been known to fetch anywhere from a few $100s to a few thousand, depending on the quality of the coin and the severity of the error, but here's the kicker. If you've got a highly sought-after 1974 double die penny in mint condition, or if it's a flawless version that has been carefully preserved, the value could be significantly higher. A coin like this has the potential to be worth $52,000. Yes, that's right, $52,000 for a single penny. Imagine that, just one penny from 1974 could be worth more than many cars, or even a down payment on a house. That's how powerful the world of rare coins can be. So, how do you know if your 1974 penny is one of these rare and valuable treasures? Here are a few things to look for. Check the date and lettering. The most obvious clue to look for is the double die error. Look closely at the date and the lettering on the coin. If you see any doubling, especially around the 1974 or Liberty, you might have a valuable error coin. Examine the coin's condition. If your 1974 penny looks almost brand new, it could be worth much more than face value. Look for coins that have no significant wear or damage. Mint state coins are highly valuable. Look for any other minting errors. In addition to the double die error, sometimes coins can have other types of minting errors, like off-center strikes, die cracks, or clipped planchets. These errors are also highly sought after by collectors. Mint mark and location. Most 1974 pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint and do not have a mint mark. However, if you happen to find one with a D mint mark for Denver, or a S mint mark for San Francisco, it could be an interesting addition to your collection. Now, if you happen to find a 1974 penny with a double die error and it's in excellent condition, don't be surprised if you can sell it for thousands of dollars. However, if it's a flawless specimen, you could be looking at a staggering value of $52,000. Yes, $52,000 for just a single penny from 1974. Imagine the excitement of discovering that you're holding a coin worth so much. So, next time you come across a 1974 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. You never know, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving into the world of US coins, and we've got an incredible one for you. If you think pennies are just small, insignificant pieces of change, think again. Today, we're going to talk about the 1976 US 1-cent coin, a penny that could be worth far more than its face value. This coin, which may seem ordinary at first glance, has a story and potential value that will definitely surprise you. You may have a few 1976 pennies lying around, tucked away in a drawer or buried in your change jar. What if I told you that this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent? That's right, a 1976 penny has the potential to fetch a small fortune, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1976 penny was minted during an important year for the United States, as the country was celebrating its 200th anniversary of independence. The bicentennial was a major event, and the U.S. Mint commemorated this milestone by producing special coins, including the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins, with a special design to mark the occasion. While these commemorative coins are widely known, the 1976 penny is a bit of an unsung hero in the world of coin collecting. Though the 1976 penny wasn't part of the bicentennial commemorative series, it was still produced during this monumental year. The design of the 1-cent coin in 1976 remained unchanged, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These designs had been in circulation for decades and were iconic representations of the nation's history. Lincoln's portrait has graced the penny since 1909, and the Lincoln Memorial has been on the reverse since 1959. So why is the 1976 penny so valuable? While most 1976 pennies are fairly common and don't hold much value beyond their face value, there are specific conditions and errors that can make certain 1976 pennies extremely valuable. As with many coins, rarity and condition are key factors in determining how much a coin is worth. Most of the 1976 pennies were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, with millions of these coins entering circulation, meaning they are relatively easy to find. However, the coins that didn't circulate as widely, those in near-perfect condition or those with minting errors, are the ones collectors are eager to get their hands on. The most valuable 1976 pennies are those that were struck with minting errors. These errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process, resulting in misprints or flaws in the design. One of the most notable errors found on 1976 pennies is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or improperly struck, resulting in a design that is doubled in certain areas. If you closely examine a 1976 penny and notice that the date or the lettering, such as Liberty or In God We Trust, looks to be doubled, you could have a double die error. Penny error coins, especially those with a double die variety, are extremely rare, and collectors will pay top dollar for them. If you're lucky enough to find a 1976 penny with this error, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. But there's more. Another type of minting error that collectors look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't perfectly aligned with the die during the minting process, resulting in an image that is shifted or incomplete. This can happen with any coin, including the 1976 penny, and it makes the coin unique and highly collectible. The condition of the coin is just as important as the error. Mint state coins, those that have been kept in excellent condition, free from wear and tear, are more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. If you find a 1976 penny that looks like it's never been in circulation, it's definitely worth checking out. Coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and clear designs are always more sought after, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for those in pristine condition. Now, you might be wondering, just how much is a 1976 penny worth? While most 1976 pennies are worth just 1 cent, the rare varieties, especially those with double die errors or other minting mistakes, can command thousands of dollars. The key is to find one in near-perfect condition with a rare error. This is where the real value lies. And now for the big reveal. A high-quality 1976 penny with a double die error, or in perfect uncirculated condition, could be worth as much as $50,000. That's right, $50,000 for just one penny. A coin that costs less than $1 could potentially sell for tens of thousands if it has the right error or is in impeccable condition. Imagine finding a coin worth $50,000 simply by checking your change jar or old coin collection. So, what should you look for when examining your 1976 pennies? First, check for any doubled lettering or doubled dates. That's one of the most common minting errors for this coin. Second, make sure the coin is in great condition. Look for any signs of wear or damage, as coins in mint condition are the most valuable. And finally, keep an eye out for any other minting errors, like off-center strikes or die cracks, which can make the coin even rarer and more valuable. In conclusion, the 1976 US 1 cent coin may seem like just another penny, but with the right error or in the right condition, it could be worth a small fortune. If you find one of these rare coins, especially with a double die error, you could be holding a coin worth $50,000, yes, $50,000. So, next time you're sorting through your coins, don't dismiss that 1976 penny. It could just be the find of a lifetime. Today, we're about to talk about something truly special, the 1982 US 1 cent coin. You might think a penny is just a penny, but wait until you hear the story behind this particular year. If you have any 1982 pennies lying around, you might want to stop and take a closer look, because this seemingly ordinary coin could actually be worth a small fortune. At first glance, the 1982 penny doesn't seem like anything special. After all, it was part of the Lincoln Memorial series that graced U.S. currency for decades. However, this year marked an important transition in the history of American coinage, and that's where the real value lies. The 1982 penny was minted during a time when major changes were occurring at the U.S. Mint, changes that would ultimately make some of these coins extremely valuable for collectors. Before 1982, pennies were made from a solid composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, but due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint decided to change the metal composition of the penny. Starting in 1982, pennies were made from a 98% zinc core with a thin copper plating on the outside. This shift in material caused some interesting changes in the coin's production, which also led to a number of minting errors, and these errors have made the 1982 penny one of the most coveted by collectors. So, what makes the 1982 penny such a hot commodity? It's all about the composition change and the errors that came along with it. To understand the value of this penny, we need to dive into the details of how the U.S. Mint produced these coins and the potential mismints that occurred during the process. In 1982, the U.S. Mint produced two types of pennies, those made from the old copper composition and those made from the new zinc-based composition. The interesting thing is that not all of the pennies from that year followed the new standard right away, and some were still struck with the old copper mix. This created a situation where a few pennies were produced in copper, even after the official changeover, which led to a very rare and valuable variety, the 1982 copper penny. If you're lucky enough to find a 1982 penny that's made of copper rather than zinc, you could be holding a coin worth significantly more than just 1 cent. The copper pennies from 1982 are extremely rare, as the mint only produced a small number of them before switching entirely to the zinc composition. The copper versions were also produced in Philadelphia and Denver, so these coins could have a mint mark to identify their origin, but that's not all. The 1982 penny is also known for having a variety of minting errors that can increase its value. Some of the most sought-after errors include the off-center strike and double die errors. When the dies used to strike the coins are misaligned or worn out, it can lead to doubled images on the coin, especially in the date or the words like "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." These errors are highly prized by collectors because they make the coin unique and visually striking. The off-center strike occurs when the coin is not aligned properly with the die during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or pushed to the edge of the coin. These off-center errors are also rare and can dramatically increase the value of the coin, especially if the error is significant. But why are these coins worth so much? Well, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. Most of the 1982 pennies that were produced are common and can be found in everyday change. However, the copper pennies and minting errors are extremely rare, making them highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. The more pristine the coin's condition, the higher the price it can command. A 1982 penny in mint state with an error or made from the copper composition can fetch a price that's exponentially higher than its face value. So, what exactly is the value of a 1982 penny in excellent condition, particularly those with minting errors or made from the copper composition? Well, it's not uncommon for a copper 1982 penny to be worth a few $1,000s, depending on the condition and the market demand. But the truly rare 1982 pennies, with minting errors or in exceptional condition, can command even higher prices. Some of these coins have sold for as much as $48,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $48,000 for a single 1982 penny. That's the kind of value you can expect for a copper penny from that year, or one with an incredible minting error in mint state condition. Imagine finding a penny that you thought was worth nothing, only to realize it's worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's the kind of discovery that can completely change your life, and it all starts with taking a closer look at your change. So, how can you spot a valuable 1982 penny? Here are a few things to look for. Check the material. The first step is to check whether your 1982 penny is made of copper or zinc. The easiest way to do this is by weighing the penny. A copper penny will weigh around 3.11 grams, while the zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams. If you have a copper 1982 penny, you've already got something special on your hands. Look for minting errors, examine the date, lettering, and design closely for any signs of doubling or misalignment. If the penny has doubled die errors or an off-center strike, it could be worth much more than face value. Inspect the condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. A well-preserved penny that's free from scratches, rust, or damage will always be worth more than a heavily circulated one. Consult experts. If you think you found a rare 1982 penny, it's always a good idea to get it professionally graded by a coin expert. This will give you an accurate idea of its value and condition. To wrap things up, the 1982 US 1-cent coin is far more valuable than most people realize. Whether you're looking at a copper penny, a double die error, or an off-center strike, there's a significant potential for profit if you find the right one. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that could be worth $48,000. It's not just a dream, it's possible. So, don't overlook those old pennies in your collection or change jar. You might just be sitting on a treasure. Today, we're diving into the world of US coins, and we've got a 1979 1-cent coin that could just blow your mind. You may think of pennies as simple, everyday items, but let me tell you, this little piece of copper could be worth a whole lot more than just 1 cent. Stick around to the end to find out how much this coin is really worth, and trust me, you'll want to check your coin jars after this. Now, let's rewind a little bit and look back at 1980 in American history. It was a time of significant changes, both politically and economically. The U.S. was under the leadership of President Jimmy Carter, and while the economy was facing challenges like high inflation, something rather fascinating was happening in the world of coinage. The U.S. Mint was still using the copper-based pennies, which had been in circulation for years, but this was also the year right before the country made the switch to a more cost-effective, zinc-based composition. In the following years, the 1980 penny was minted during a time when the classic copper penny design had already been in circulation for decades. The design featured Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These two images are incredibly well known, and have become symbols of the American coinage system. It's hard to imagine, but this very penny could be hiding some big surprises. So, what makes the 1980 penny so special? Like many coins, the key to value lies not only in rarity but also in condition. Most of the 1980 pennies you'll find will be worth just 1 cent. However, certain coins from that year have some features and errors that make them highly desirable to collectors. One of the most fascinating things about the 1980 penny is that, although it was mass-produced, it's a critical year in the transition of the penny's composition, which can make some of these coins more valuable than their face value. The real intrigue behind the 1980 penny comes from minting errors and misprints that can occur when the coins are struck. One of the most valuable errors that has been found in 1980 pennies is the double die error, which occurs when the coin dies are not aligned properly during the striking process. This results in doubled images or doubled letters on the coin, usually around the date or the motto, "In God We Trust." These doubled coins are a huge find for collectors, as they are rare and unique compared to regular coins. Another error to look out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when a coin is not aligned properly with the die during the minting process, resulting in a coin that is misshapen with a portion of the design missing or off the edge of the coin. These coins are considered particularly valuable by collectors because they represent a flaw in the minting process, and anything that is off or rare in the coin world only adds to its desirability. A well-preserved off-center strike or a double die error from 1980 could easily fetch a much higher price than the average coin from that year, but that's not all. The condition of the 1980 penny plays a critical role in determining its value. Most of the 1980 pennies in circulation are heavily worn from years of handling. Coins that have been well cared for, or those that are still in mint condition, can be worth much more. A perfectly preserved penny that still retains its sharp, clear features, especially one with an error, could be worth thousands of dollars. And when you think about the number of 1980 pennies that have gone through the wear and tear of daily use, finding one in great condition becomes even rarer. Now, let's talk about the big question: how much could a 1980 penny be worth? While most of these coins are still worth just 1 cent, there's a small but important percentage of 1980 pennies that can fetch incredibly high prices. Coins that have been minted with double die errors, off-center strikes, or are in mint state condition can be worth substantial amounts of money. The rarity of 1980 pennies in excellent condition or with errors is what makes them so valuable. In fact, if you're lucky enough to have a 1980 penny that is error-free, in mint condition, or if it has an incredible double die error, you could see its value rise to impressive levels. The most highly sought after 1980 pennies, especially those with significant errors or in near-perfect condition, have been known to sell for as much as $45,000. Yes, that's $45,000 for a single penny. You might be thinking, how could a penny be worth that much? The answer lies in the rarity and historical significance of the coin. Most of the 1980 pennies you'll find in your pocket change won't be worth much more than their face value. But if you happen to find one with a minting error, or in excellent condition, you could be holding a rare gem. For collectors, these error pennies represent a piece of history, a moment when something went wrong during the minting process, and that makes them incredibly valuable. If you have a collection of coins from the 1980s, it's time to dig them out and start checking. Pay special attention to the 1980 penny, look closely for any doubled letters, doubled dates, or off-center strikes. Make sure to examine the condition as well. If you find a well-preserved 1980 penny, or one that has a minting error, it could be worth a lot more than you thought. You could be looking at a coin that could fetch $45,000 in today's market. In conclusion, the 1980 US 1-cent coin might look like just another penny at first glance, but with the right minting error or in pristine condition, it could be worth $45,000. Yes, $45,000. It's incredible to think that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny could have so much value. So, start checking those old coins, and who knows, you might just have a hidden treasure worth a small fortune. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our coin discoveries. Happy collecting!